Hello everybody, welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Once again, today we're going to be getting a new certification. I have saved up enough money to go get my IFR rating, my instrument rating, so that's what we're going to be doing. Allows you to navigate when you cannot fly using visual references. You'll no longer be grounded by cloudy, rainy, snowy, or poor visibility conditions. Now, keep in mind, I am skipping ahead and just doing the ratings because I've got a lot of experience in flight simming. And if you look on the left-hand side, we have training right here: climb and descent, turning, speed control, VOR basics, RNAV basics, ILS approach, and IFR test. So if you're new, that's what all of these here are for. The same thing goes for when we got our PPL. You have on the left side, sim controls, aircraft essentials, attitude, turns, power settings, maneuver test, pre-flight, taxiing, takeoff, landing, etc., etc. A lot of lessons here so that you're not caught out and you can learn how to fly properly. That is what I did not do in the last video. Now, we're going to be doing our IFR, so let's go ahead and hop in here. I have never taken this before, clearly, so I don't know what to expect. Hopefully, they don't screw us around too much. Whole lot of money there. Instrument flight rules certification. You can see here we're taking off and we're flying to a destination. That's pretty much all we're going to do. Once the weather turns bad enough for visual flight rules to no longer apply, pilots must rely on their instrument rating, or IR, to allow them to fly. Obtaining an instrument flight rules rating is invaluable to pilots that aspire to do more than fly general aviation aircraft in clear conditions. Show what you have learned by performing an approach and landing at Sundberg Airport in the Scottish Shetland Islands. All right, they're starting us in the air on this one. Check it out. High above the sky. Looking beautiful. All right, let's hit start.
I know that this weather can look daunting, but you will be able to perform your approach by relying on your aircraft's instruments, just like you did in your training.
Cessna 49er tree, your transponder appears inoperative or malfunctioning. Reset. Squawk tree 125.
3125, okay. I guess they didn't get the code on that, right? 3125. We're now squawking 3125. All right. Why are we on the localizer right now? We should probably be on the CDI for GPS if they're having us go to EVTEP. So we'll keep an eye on that. All right, sweet. Also, our panel lights aren't very bright. Nothing's kind of set up for an evening flight in the clouds, but that's okay. All right, fly to EVTEP, descend to 2,100 feet. Okay, EVTEP's to our right, so let's do that. Let's get on the needle here, and we'll descend down to 2,100. Pull our power back a little bit. One thing you'll notice is the standby battery there is set to ARM on the top left. Now, I didn't fly very many SPs or G1000 packages. It wasn't until the 182 is when I first flew with that package. So I never really had the standby battery, so it's something I completely forgot about. However, it is here. All right, cool. Down to 2,100. We're going to hand fly this too, because why not? Fly to PB271, descend to 2,100. Okay, we're descending down to 2,100 into the clouds. What makes instrument flying so challenging is once you get in the clouds, in the real world, your body kind of tells you the airplane's doing things it's not. It's such a weird feeling. I can't explain it, but you always rely on your instruments. Okay, let's go over to the right a little bit more. We're on pretty much on that as good as it's going to be. So 335 is looking good here, down to 2,100. We're slowing. And we're going to change our CDI over here to a localizer, since we're going to pick up the localizer on the way in. Very cool. So this is quite challenging. All right, we're at 2,100. Let's go back up. They say to fly to PB271. I'm assuming they want us to stay at 2,100. So we're going to do exactly that. That would make sense for the ILS approach. I don't have my chart for this approach, so I'm not sure what the final approach fix would be, but that's okay. Bring the nose up a little bit more. All right. I've been enjoying the career mode. It's been a lot of fun. I've gotten more enjoyment out of it than I thought I would. I've been flying it more than I thought I would. There's an addicting game loop there when it comes to like leveling up and wanting to make money for your company and all that. I think that's pretty good. So something that if you're doing this particular rating here in the sim and you want to get better at it, one thing you're gonna notice is that when that needle starts to move to the left for your localizer here, you're definitely going to want to ease into the turn on it. Otherwise, you'll do what's called chasing the needle. If you turn too late, you're just going to be zigzagging to try to get that that localizer back again. We're just completely relying on our instruments here as we get closer to the intercept point here at PB271. So I imagine once we get there, we're 1.3 miles out now, 2,100 feet, 100 knots, looking good right now. As soon as we get movement on that needle, we'll start that turn.
You can switch back to visual flight rules before landing. Identifying the runway lights should help you during the transition.
Yeah, once you're out of the clouds and you have visual of the runway, you can be VFR again. But we're still going to shoot the IFR approach. So you see that green needle is going to start moving our direction. And that's what we want to intercept, because that is representing the center line of the runway. And then you see on the right next to where our altitude is there, it says G. That's the glide path there, the glide slope. Well, glide path if we're going to be RNAV, but glide slope. There's the needle turning in, so we're going to turn in on it. Like I said, just nice and easy. You don't want to chase this needle, so nice and smooth here.
Cessna 49er Tree U are 10 miles east of Sunburg. Contact tower on 118.25 when inbound on the approach.
All right, 1825. We'll see you next time.
Tower on 118.25 Cessna 49er Tree.
We're a little left, so we're just going to do a small correction this way. Get back up. I don't know if we're going to get the glide slope on this or not, but we're going to find out. Let's contact the tower.
Tower Cessna November 4749er, tree 9er miles, east inbound RNAV runway 9er approach circle.
So now we turn on to the needle. Looking good. We are 2 miles out in the final approach fix.
QNH 101 tree cleared. PBEG S1 AARA. NAEV. PSEP RNAV. PN runway 9er approach.
What? All right, whatever that means. Gotcha.
Cleared RNAV runway 9er approach Cessna 49er tree.
Oh, we're shooting an RNAV, not the localizer. Really? Okay. Well, then we'll go to this, maybe? All right, well, we're doing it. We're going to do RNAV then. So that's fine. You can see the glide path coming down. Let's get to the left here so we can intercept that. I thought we were shooting an ILS approach. My bad. All right, we're flaps 30 now, and we're just slowly coming to this runway here. 65 knots. Looking for more like 70. I need to use a little bit of trim here to help us out. All right, a little off on the glide path here, but we're bang on the center there, center line. All right, we've got the runway in sight now. Now you can go to VFR. We're a tad low. Let's bring the nose up. Got our power for altitude. Let's pitch for that airspeed. There we go. 2 red, 2 white. That's what you want. That's a PAPI light system there. If you just have 4 on the left and 1 on top of the other, it's called the VASI system. But this is PAPI. So 3 white means we're too high. You want 2 red, 2 white to be on the glide path. So let's get it. There we go. Right there. If 3 wet red, you're slightly low. 4 red, you're dead. That's too low. See how that's low there? That's okay. We've already got the runway made, so we're not worried about it. And now we're just aiming for this aiming point here, which is the 2 big, huge squares. Or rectangles. I guess you could call them rectangles.
Cessna 49er tree contact ground on 118.255.
All right, we'll contact ground.
Going to 118.255 Cessna 49er tree.
49er tree. All right, so I had to go all the way down on the other side of the ramp to get to the hold short. Did that. Got the taxi instructions to come over here to stop. So definitely bugged here at this airport. So that wasn't great. All right, parking brake is set, and we will kill the engine. Let's see how we did on our instrument
Great
rating.
job. You've passed the test.
Yay!
There's a few areas where you could improve, but that was a solid performance.
So it wasn't perfect. We passed with a B. I think it's just still going up. Oh, come on. We can get an A. Respect the flight plan altitudes. That's what we didn't do well, was the altitudes in the beginning. We were hand flying it, so. Hey, you know what? We'll take it. It wasn't great, but it'll work. Congratulations! Certification instrument rating passed. Allows you to navigate when you cannot fly using visual references. You'll no longer be grounded by cloudy, rainy, snowy, or poor visibility conditions. So now we have the ability to have real-world weather, live weather, instead of pre-baked weather. Looking at the specializations, we see we still need to get aerial advertising here. Score flight scene or skydive aviation missions with a B or above. Okay, I have to do 2 more of those, and then I can get that. And then we get to search and rescue, which I really want to do. We just need our tailwheel endorsement and perform landings with an airplane on soft runways or bush. So we've got a few to do on that as well, but it is coming along nicely. Let's look at our missions and see what is available to us. We have charter service private now available to us. Nice. Okay. Very cool. And they're probably going to want us to do that, I would imagine. They're going to be like, hey. Yep, VIP. Well, maybe we should do it. Live missions unlocked. See right there? Real weather conditions live.
You now have access to real condition missions. These allow you to scroll back up to 24 hours to fly in real-world weather conditions over the past day.
There you go. Wonderful. This slider allows you to access a 24-hour historical record of weather conditions. All right.
Adjusting the time slider will reveal a variety of different missions only available in specific weather and lighting conditions. Meanwhile, missions that are not time-dependent remain available at all times.
Okay. That's interesting.
It seems like this mission has different weather conditions than usual. For now, check the weather conditions, also known as METR-TAF, carefully when selecting a mission. IFR icon means you will have to fly an IFR condition. But there is also MVFR icon and LIFR icon.
All right, marginal VFR. Gotcha.
A warning icon means this mission is not recommended under the current weather. Fly at your own risk.
All right. So we're getting warnings now based on the weather, the live weather, that is. All right, I think we need to do our VIP so we can get some things unlocked here. Where's this at? This is in the Skyhawk. Oh, that's Papiet. We're Vaitape. That's Bora Bora right there. So we're going to be just outside of Bora Bora, it looks like. Interesting. All right, yep, let's do it. Oh, we are going to Bora Bora. Are you kidding me? All right. I'm okay with that. Let's do it. Utora, Tamara, Plongi, good luck saying all that. Mr. Najee Bernard is on the go for a special event. Well, he just wants to go to Bora Bora. I'm okay with that. We have clouds on our trip today. That's okay. Accept the mission. Charter service. Now, don't be fooled. We're not flying a multi-engine airplane. We're going to be flying the Cessna 172. You know how it goes. Transport passengers to destination. Okay. First class wings. Easy enough. Let's do it. 67 miles. Should be a fun one. All right, dude. Get your bald head on it. Remove the chocks. Check it out. We've got weather all around the island here, so not an ideal day for flying, that is for certain, but we're going to do it. We're going to enjoy it. Let's do the proper walk around. If you missed the last video, we'll do the proper walk around, which starts back here. We're going to go ahead and, well, let's go ahead and remove those chocks. There we go. And while we're here, we can go ahead and inspect the wheel. You just hover over this and then it gets a visual. Some things don't work that way though. They don't. So make sure that that is good. We have no hidden cargo back there. Nothing that we should know about that would be a problem. Keep in mind that the walk around procedure is something you want to perform every flight. Especially in your career mode, because failures and wear and tear on the airplane are a thing. Well, once I think it's more or less when we get our own airplane, we own it. For now, it's a matter of, let's click that guy. It's a matter of checking their airplanes, because these aren't ours and we don't know the condition of them. And I know that you can have engine failures and things like that during your career if you are not checking everything and making sure it's good to go. So that's good to go there. Move over this way. We're going to check the oil. One thing I really would love to see is being able to jump up on this little guy right here, hopping up here, and checking the fuel in the top of the wing. We have oil. That's an important part of flying, so that's good to go. Let's come down here, check the nose wheel and the strut as well. Sometimes it's hard to get this icon for the strut. And doesn't want to give it to me today. Okay. That is gone. Yeah, no strut on this one. Interesting. All right, that's good. And then we'll get this guy as well. Airplane is pretty much pre-flighted. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get one on that one. Interesting. Okay. Well, cool. Not a problem at all. A lot of people have been asking me, how am I toggling off the rectangles in the sky? And I'll show you that. We go to controls and we go to keyboard. We're going to search visual assistance. Okay. And you'll see toggle visual assistance display. I have it set to numpad minus. You can change it to whatever you want there. Now keep in mind, you can come down here to the on the keyboard controls and change the general controls over to 2020 transversal, and that'll give you the 2020 keybinds if you want to. I've been learning the new ones, so I made my own profile, so I'm happy with that, but I just wanted to show it to you. All right, I'm happy with that. Let's hop into the airplane, and we'll get everything set to go here. We'll request boarding.
Ladies and gents, we've started boarding, so feel free to step aboard.
Understood, Captain. They're on their way. Have a good flight.
Thank you very much. They got that VIP treatment in the smart car there. Well, the compact car, not a smart car. We have a couple people with us.
Ladies and gentlemen, I wish you a good flight on behalf of First Class Wings.
Hi, Captain. They
Hello.
mentioned at the gate that the network would be available throughout the flight. I need it for some important calls, Captain. So please make sure not to cut off my connection without notifying me.
Okay. Sounds good. I mean, we'd ask you not to, but you're the customer, so I guess we'll do what you want to do. All right, so basically what you can do is you could put the standby battery into test mode for 20 seconds before you put it into ARM. That's the correct way to do it. And I'll also show you how to properly start this airplane. I haven't been doing that in the last video. I've been doing it improperly. So we'll go master battery on. We get a beacon on. We are going to turn the nav lights on because it is a little gloomy out there. Let's bring our panel lights up. Although they don't seem to really do a whole lot sometimes. Pedestal, whatever, avionics, bring that up. Let's turn the cabin power on so they can use that today. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to turn on the fuel pump. And we're going to push this in. But again, we're not seeing fuel flow like you would in real life. You'd pull it all the way out. You'd have your, you'd have this guy. Yeah, even with that, it doesn't matter. It doesn't do it. Quarter inch on that. Fuel pump off. We're primed on the engine. Now, it's tricky. You have to start the engine, and as soon as the engine catches, you push the mixture forward. Now, I haven't been doing that, but just been throwing it all the way and just sending it because it's just easier to do it that way. But let's do it the proper way today, since we have a lot of people that fly the 172 and want to do you some justice. So, yeah, we put this into test mode for 20 seconds. We're not going to do it for 20 seconds today, but it would complete it, and then we put it into ARM. All right. Clear prop. Hey, we did it correctly that time. There you go. So that's basically how you do it. Avionics, come on. And now we can wait for this to power up, and then you just hit the enter button to get all of this. And you can see on the next rad, we've got some weather in the area.
Cessna November 4749er tree is cleared to Raiatea Airport as filed expect runway. 29er maintain 4,000 feet.
All right,
Departure
4,000
frequency
feet.
is 126.7 squawk 5115.
5115. 5115. We'll read it back to them. Oh, they're not having us do
Cleared
that.
to Raiatea
No, we did.
as filed
Cool.
runway. 29er maintain 4,000 feet. Departure frequency is 126.7 squawk 5115 Cessna November 4749er tree.
All right, 4,000 set.
Cessna 49er tree readback is correct. Contact ground on 1 tree 4.7 when ready to taxi.
All right, sounds
day.
good. We got our clearance. All is well there.
Hello, everyone. Please give your warmest welcome to our passenger, Mr. Bernard. He's close to one of our top athlete clients. The service must be impeccable. Our 5-star reputation precedes us. Have a good flight, Captain.
All right, we're not in a business jet. We're in a Cessna 172. Pipe down. Let's get our taxi clearance.
Ground Cessna November 4749er tree ready to taxi IFR.
Cessna November 4749er tree taxi to and hold short of runway 29er via taxiway. Contact tower on 1 tree 4.7 when ready.
All right, over to 29er we're gonna go. So let's go ahead and tell them that we're good.
Taxiing hold short runway 29er via taxiway Cessna 49er tree.
Okay, a little forward here. We'll test our brakes. We got a passenger on the right hand side say, go ahead and hit your brakes for me. Let us know it's working, and it is. All right, cool. Let's taxi out to the runway, shall we? Another thing you can do is you can lean the mixture out on the ground while you're taxiing. It helps the spark plugs. We're not going to do that because it's a short taxi today, and we just want to get out of here into the air. So that's what we're going to do. Let's welcome the passengers.
Dear passengers, on behalf of our airline personnel, we would like to welcome you on board flight FCW 4210 bound for Uturoa. Our flight time will be 11 minutes. We expect an on-time departure, and we're currently ready for takeoff. I will keep you informed of any key updates as we go through the flight. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, there you go. So one thing I've noticed with the missions is that you can fly how you want. You don't have to follow the boxes in the sky. You won't get dinged for it. So that's actually really nice. You can just fly the line. All right, we're gonna come to the hold short point here. We're gonna do a run up before we take off. So let's come to a stop here. There we go. And let's do our run up. Make sure the airplane's doing everything it should be doing. Bring it up to 1700 RPM. There we go, looking good. We've got plenty of fuel here. So we got green fuel flow, we got oil pressure, oil temp, back's good. Electrical's looking good here. Let's go ahead and check our left mag. We're looking for that drop. There we go. Back to both. Let's back up to 1700 RPM. We're gonna click it to the right one. There's our 50 drop. And back to both. Up to 50 drop. Landing and a strobe light comes on, taxi light comes off, and we come back to idle. And let's give them a request takeoff clearance.
Cessna November 4749er tree QNH 101 tree. Cleared for takeoff, runway 29er.
All right, clear for takeoff, runway 29er. Let's go ahead and give them an acknowledgement there. Enter the runway, which way they want us to go. All the way down and turn around to the right. Okay, we can do that. All right, we're gonna let them know we're gonna be taking off.
Good evening, dear passengers. This is your captain speaking. On behalf of First Class Wings, I would like to welcome you on board flight FCW 4210 bound for Uturoa. Estimated flight time to Uturoa is 11 minutes. To prepare for takeoff, please ensure your seat belt is fastened tightly, your seat is in the upright position, and your tray table is securely stored. Thank you, and get ready for a wonderful flight.
We're in Cessna 172, so you don't have to worry about the tray table thing, but have a wonderful flight. Yeah, not the greatest day for flying down here in the islands, but I welcome the weather because it's live weather. It's not always beautiful down here, you know? Not always beautiful. All right, we're come down here and turn around on the runway. So with the Cessna 172, I know some people have been saying they've had problems getting it to turn. You do have to use differential braking in the real airplane and in the sim. So you'll notice when I'm making a sharp turn, I'm adding that power. I'm actually touching the brakes while I'm doing that. Because in the real airplane, whenever you're pushing on those rudder pedals, they're pretty dead. I mean, it has motion to it, but it's not anything significant. All right, let's hit the brakes a little bit here. We're down here at the end of runway 29er, and we're going to take off from runway 29er. So let's follow the taxi line around this way. But yeah, I'm just kind of clicking my brake here as we spin around onto the runway. Pretty good lineup on this one today. All right, cool. And we're ready to go. Let's go ahead and add our power, full power. And I'll do what we used to do, just close this on the takeoff roll because why not? All right, airspeed's alive. Oil pressure's good. Oil temp's good. Everything's in the green. We're 55 knots for rotation. There we go. Ease on back. And just like that, we are flying. Let's just keep it down in ground effect for here, for now. And climb to 4,000 feet to Rutix. All right, on up to Rutix we go. And we can get our flight director by clicking FD. So now we have our flight director here. That's going to take us up to 4,000 feet. And it looks like about 1,000 feet per minute. I'm going to go ahead and trim the airplane a little bit here. Or I like it. That's pretty good right there. Nice and solid. All right, keep coming back up. And you can see those boxes in the sky. Now, the synthetic vision and those boxes in the sky that you're going to see on our PFD is actually real life. In real life, it operates that way. Some people were confused about that last time.
Tree, contact Tahiti Center on 126.7.
All right, what contact center? New departure. See ya.
126.7 Cessna.
Get this thing trimmed out where I like it, so I don't have to work so hard with the airplane.
Tahiti Center Cessna, November 4749er tree is passing 700 feet, climbing 4,000 feet.
Cessna November 4749er tree Tahiti Center QNH 101 tree. Continue to Oscar, Mike November India as planned. Cessna 49er tree climb and maintain 5,000 feet.
All right, 5,000 for us.
Climb and maintain 5,000 feet Cessna.
Get ready for our turn.
Tree.
5,000. All right, let's start our turn. We can hit nav on this, so the flight director will actually follow that. There we go. Nice shallow turn on the way out, and as we get on the downwind, we can increase our turn rate to 30.
Cessna 49er tree verify squawking 5115.
5115. We should be on 5115. Are we not? Or 5115. Oh, we're on standby. That's why. Hang on. My bad. There we go. All right, let's get back on our stuff here. I'm just going to follow this for now. We're flying to Rutix, so we can go direct to Rutix. I'm not sure if we can change that on the flight plan on this right now, but we're just going to go ahead and go direct to Rutix now. So I'm going to give us ourselves a Victor vector here. So we're going to get a heading on that. And we're going to flop this thing all the way around. We get a direct to Rutix. Beautiful flight here in the islands today. Looks like that'll work for us. So let's get on our heading. As long as we do what they ask us to do, we're good to go. For the most part. Look at that. That's where we just departed. We're going direct to Rutix, where you don't need to go all the way out to Tesla because he gave us direct to Rutix. So we're climbing out here. I'm not climbing out at 75, 80 knots. Your best rate would be that where the Y is there, 75 knots here. So we're just lazily getting up pretty much at our maneuvering speed, 90 knots. And now we can take the workload off of us by engaging the autopilot. And the autopilot is now engaged. And we can see it's taking us on our heading, autopilot. And we're at about 700 feet per minute. Climb right here. You can always bring it down by pressing the nose down or up if you would like as well. All right, well, it's all coming together now, isn't it? And I was hitting these buttons over here. That's just kind of a habit thing. You can always use this over here as well. All right, almost to cruise status, so we need to reach 5,000, but we'll let them know we're going to be hitting cruise here shortly.
Dear passengers, glad to be your captain today. First, I'd like to welcome everyone on behalf of First Class Wings on flight FCW 4210. We are currently cruising at an altitude of 4,200 feet at an airspeed of 80 knots. It's 10:19 a.m. and are expecting to land in Uturua approximately at 2:10 p.m. local time. Current temperature of 59 degrees Fahrenheit. If the weather cooperates, we should get a great view of the area as we descend. I'll update you before we reach our destination. Until then, sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of the flight.
All right, we've informed them of that. Let's get that pitot heat on. We're going to be heading up into the clouds here, just for safety measures. Everything else is going according to plan. There's all our backup instruments. In case we were to lose these, we would have these instruments here, which are quite helpful. Airspeed, our attitude, and our altitude. However, we would not have any engine parameters. All right, we're coming up on 5,000 here, our cruise, and I will show you how we're going to lean this airplane. As we are now at 5,000, we're going to let us gain some airspeed here first. And then we're going to get on track. It looks like we're going to Revco and then a left turn out through some of the rain. Light showers here, nothing terrible, so we're not really worried about that. And we are going to go ahead and now go over here to the engine page and then the lean page. And now you can see how we're going to lean this out. There's our fuel quantity down at the bottom there. Fuel flow gallons per hour is currently 14.9. So when we start pulling this back, you're going to see how that's going to increase. You're going to get better fuel mileage.
17 miles northwest. Maintain present heading and altitude expect. PBEG S1AARA. NAEV. PSEP RNAV. PEND runway 07 approach via Rudix transition. Cleared to Rudix.
Clear to Rudix. All right, cool. He's giving us clearance for the approach. We hit enter. But I hit enter, buddy. It's not doing it. Anywho. Oh, there we go.
Descend and maintain 3,500 feet. Expect RNAV runway.
Well, never mind. We're going to keep it
approach
rich, but that's how you would lean the airplane out. I just wanted to show it to you. All right, 3,500. Let's go ahead and altitude down to 3,500. There we go. Altitude off. Let's go ahead and pitch this sucker down. We're going to Rudix. In the clouds here today. Pull our power back. We don't need to get into the yellow. It's down to descend down to 3,500 here. Oh, again, we can use this side. I'm so used to hitting buttons on that side. Okay.
Tower on 118.5 Cessna, 49er tree.
You got it, buddy. You got it. All right, Rudix. And then we're currently TB 504. Once we get over Rudix, then we're going to go ahead and get that, and then we can go to nav. Once that swaps over. That's my plan of action as of right now, but we're in a nice descent to 3,500, so we didn't fly in the clouds very long today at all. Not so bad. Let's contact tower. Interesting.
Right on Tower Cessna, November 4749er tree, 14 miles, west inbound RNAV runway 07 approach.
Runway 7.
Cessna November 4749er tree, Raiatea Tower. QNH 101 tree cleared. PBEG S1AARA. And AEV.
Boy, they say a lot of stuff that you don't need.
07 approach.
All right. Let's do that.
Cleared RNAV runway.
You know, I'm wondering if we can actually change the altimeter now. All right, 3,500. Altitude's good there. Add our power back in. And we'll let them know we're going to be descending.
As we start our descent to Uturua, please fasten your seatbelt. Thank you.
All right, heading over this way. We're just going to vector ourselves for the most part. We're at 3,500. Looking good here. And now we've got Revco there. So now, see how it's like that? Now I can go to nav mode, and now the airplane's going to pitch over to the right, or it's going to turn over to the right, and then we're going to get on to course to Revco. And this will actually fly the entire approach for us, which is nice when you're task saturated. And that's something I wanted to tell you a little bit about when we were doing our IFR rating. It's something called task saturation. You're talking to ATC, you're working with stuff in the airplane. You know, the autopilot is a tool to help you whenever you are in the clouds or you're in instrument conditions. So use those as a tool. You can still hand fly it, but it's nice to utilize the tools that are given to you in the airplane. And once we get out here to Revco, we'll make that left turn and all will be well on the way in. We're going to try to shoot a little bit of an approach here today too, as we're doing the RNAV. Airport's just off to our left. We're going to be landing over there. And these islands. All right, making our turn over this way now. Wonderful. We're pretty much picking up the glide path here. We got our diamond coming down to us. There we go. And we can get our bullseyes up so we can make sure we're doing everything we're supposed to do here. We're going to TR 107, final approach fix. 5.2 miles from that. Pretty much on that glide path right now as it's coming down. It hasn't turned magenta on us. And activate the approach. So now we have the glide path. So I hit the APR button for the approach button. And now the airplane is tracking LNAV and the glide path as well. And you'll see that the boxes, the synthetic boxes here, they are going to show you the glide path down to the runway as well. So if we were in the clouds, super helpful to see those. And now we go down to FTR 07. And zoom in a little bit. You see us on the approach now coming in. Nice and smooth so far. Yeah, I think something's going on with the cockpit lights in the Cessna. They're not great. They're very dim, you know? Like, these don't even need to be on. But you should have a lot more panel lighting than this when we crank it up. And it's just not doing that. But that's all right. We're just working with what we've got here on a gloomy day down in Bora Bora. Well, in Tahiti for the most part. We left Bora Bora and we're going to another island nearby. But as you can see, this thing's just captured this and it's flying it perfectly fine. GPS, AP, GP. That's what you want to see. We're about to hit the final approach fix now, and you'll see how we're at the magenta, and there's white now as it transfers over to the next. It's going to say direct track 7-1 and now, and you see how it turned to magenta there. So now we are going to the runway, and we're currently 4.2 nautical miles out from that runway.
Cessna 49er, tree wind calm, cleared to land runway 07.
All right, clear to land runway 7.
Cleared to land runway 07.
Cessna 49er
Cessna
tree.
49er tree.
I'll say tree. Now, I want to explain that is phonetically correct. Instead of 5, you'd say fife. Instead of 3, you'd say tree. 9 is niner. 4 is fower. No one uses that in the real world. I'll just get that out of the way, except for niner. Obviously, people say, like, contact ground on point niner. That is something they do say. But fife and tree and fower, those are not used. However, the AI does not really understand that. It is correct, but it just sounds unnatural when they say it. All right, we're looking good on our approach here. Let's start pulling our power back here. And we're going to get into the white arc, so we start adding some flaps in. When we're flying in a pattern, you'd be like 45 from the threshold of the runway. Or you'd pull your power back at the threshold of the runway to 1500 RPM. You get into that white arc. You put your first setting of flap down. You pitch for 80 knots. You start your base. and then you do final on final, turning left onto final, and then you put your flaps down, or right, whatever you're doing. But on a straight-in approach, it's a lot different. So now we're first notch flaps here. You see the airplane is going to start pitching for that glide path. I'm just showing you how the autopilot system works on this. Just because it's a Cessna 172 doesn't mean you can't use these tools. And going back to what I was saying before, a straight-in approach is quite different. And the bigger the runway, it seems like you're higher up than you are sometimes in the real world. So you just gotta remember, hey, I'm 0.5 miles out. I'm at this speed. I need to put my flaps in, so we're at the next speed, etc., etc. Let's go ahead and turn that autopilot off. My airplane. That'll go away. All right, let's find out what they did with our pitch trim setting here. And we're final on final, so now we go final setting to flap here, and we're going to pitch the nose over and power for that altitude. Stay on the glide slope. I'm gonna reset my trim because the autopilot sets that trim, and sometimes it's not great. A little bit more power here. I'm gonna shoot this approach at about 70 knots here. Looking good. Land on runway 7. You got it. Let the airplane's nose come up a little bit here as we add that power in, ever so slightly adding that power in, but we're gonna add more power and then pitch the nose over for the 70 knots. And now we had to pull up the nose up. There we go. And then power for altitude. A little high here, so we just pull the power back a little bit. And you can see that little diamond, that's the glide path there. Just how accurate it is compared to the PAPI light system we're seeing here. 70 knots, still looking good here. Now, as we get closer to the runway and you have the runway made, you don't have to sit there and fly the PAPI lights the whole time or even chase that glide path. You just land the airplane. And you're just going to kill the power when we're over the piano keys here. So about right here, we're going to start going like this. This is called the round out to flare. Kill the power, bring the nose up, let the airplane lose all of its energy, and just slowly come down on the ground, just like that. All right, we landed on runway 7. We're reducing speed. Let's see where they want us to go today. Off to the right.
Cessna 49er,
Easy enough.
next taxiway.
All right, we're going to turn this taxiway right here. Sounds good. This is the hold short right here, and a very gloomy day in Tahiti.
Cessna 49er tree, contact ground on 134.7.
All right, we'll contact ground. See you next time. Come to a stop here. Clean the airplane up. Flaps come up. Get taxi request. Taxi light on. Strobe light comes off. Landing light comes off. And now we're ready to taxi into the ramp.
Tahiti ground Cessna November 4749er tree taxi to parking.
Cessna November 4749er tree taxi to general aviation parking using taxiway.
All right, taxi to the ramp via
Taxiing to general aviation parking via taxiway Cessna 49er tree.
Doesn't have a name. All right, let them know what's going on
Dear
here.
passengers, welcome to Uturoa. Local time is 10:34 a.m. For your safety, the captain has requested that you remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until we come to a complete stop and the seatbelt sign is turned off. Please make sure you take all your belongings with you when you get off. On behalf of the entire company, we would like to thank you for choosing first class wings. We look forward to seeing you again and wish you a pleasant stay in Uturoa.
Yes, we do. Pleasant stay in Uturoa. All right, come to a stop here. Just like that.
That was a smooth ride. Thanks for the safe travel, Captain.
No problem.
I will recommend your company.
Thank you. We appreciate it. So shutdown procedure, we just kill that. And then avionics off. We turn that this key over and then kill the master battery and the battery and all that stuff. But it doesn't let you do that. It's kind of a peeve. I really wish we could. Kill the power. You gotta be quick. Well, I should have turned that off and then got that, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They don't give you enough time. Let's see how we did today. Passenger satisfaction 93. Airline procedures was 75. Respect the condition was 91. We got an A. No S tier today. Sadly. We go to the aviator performance details. Make all necessary. Okay. This is just the help page, so this isn't not helpful for us. I thought it would give us our details of our flight, but it does not. On to the next one. There's our mission payout. We made good money on that one, honestly. 4360. You know, we're saving up for our next rating, so that's going to be nice to see. Reputation update. We're an A reputation now. And we're leveling up. Level up, dude. 22. All right. Hit next. And there you go. So the next cert that I'm working towards, it's going to be night currency. It's going to be 7,500 to get that. So I'm getting close. Once we get that, then we can do night flights. And then I'm going to pretty much follow out the tree. I do want to get my tailwheel endorsement for 5,000 here. And then I'm going to move into turboprop because I really want to fly the Caravan. I do. We can move into jet engine rating as well. These are not available yet. We have to unlock that. And then as you get your ATP there, and then up here, a future update. So heavy airliner rating is not in yet, but this one is. So that's still to come. And then we can work on helicopter stuff as well. I really think hoist endorsement and doing search and rescue is going to be really cool to do that as well. And to do search and rescue will be a lot of fun with specializations. But that's what our tree currently looks like with our career. That's going to do it for this episode of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Let me know what you thought of it in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.